That covers theme development basics. There's a lot more that can be done that I haven't covered. Some of that will be covered later in this course when we dig deeper into actually building our theme framework. But you should understand the basics and what the main files in a WordPress theme are for. The header.php is used for any content that gets reused at the top of the page. It's called in content serving templates with the getHeader function, and it needs to have a WP-Head function inside it in order to support many plugins and theme functions. In HTML, we have the head tag, but the header template file deals with more than that, also including anything else that appears at the top of the page above the content. The footer.php is used for content that gets reused at the bottom of the page. It's called in other template files with the getFooter function and needs to have a WP footer function in it to support other plugin and theme functions. At the bottom of an HTML-based site, we'd probably have a /body and /HTML, and it could be that that's all what's in your footer.php. Or you could add widgetized areas for dynamic content defined by the user or footer navigation. The index.php is the default template used to serve all content, so it needs to be the most robust. In the WordPress template hierarchy, everything falls back to index.php if more specific templates don't exist. An index.php doesn't necessarily need to be overly complex, but it needs to be robust enough to handle a variety of different situations. While I was looking at index.php, I also showed you the function getTemplatePart, which is a way to break up template files into smaller, reusable chunks. Page.php is the default template for WordPress pages. If a page.php doesn't exist, WordPress will fall back to the index.php. Custom page templates can be created by defining a template name, which allows the user to select that template from a dropdown, or by specifying the page slug or ID in the file name like pageabout.php. Single.php is similar to page.php. It's the default template for individual posts. Unlike page templates, though, there's no inherent way to specify a single template for a particular post, but you can define unique templates for different post types. If a single.php doesn't exist, WordPress will use the index.php to display the single post. But using a single.php allows you to have more control over how the single post pages work. Both single.php and page.php files should probably have comment support, so visitors to a site using your theme can post comments on the posts or pages. Sidebar.php is used to load widgetized areas, but does not necessarily need to be on the side, though that's the most common practice. It's called in other template files like index.php or single.php with getSidebar. But despite its name, it can really display anywhere, above or below the content, as well as to the left or to the right. Sidebars are mostly for content that is added via widgets in the WordPress admin by the user and is not explicitly required by WordPress. The theme functions file is where you register your sidebars and add any additional functions to your theme. This can be where custom functionality goes, or it can be used to add theme support for core features like custom backgrounds or custom headers. The functions.php file isn't required by WordPress, but it helps, and you'll probably want to use it if you're working on building a theme framework. Finally, the theme style.css is generally where most of the CSS for the theme will go. There are a variety of ways you can load this file, but you'll probably be using getStyleSheet.uri in some form or other, no matter what you're doing, to get the direct path to the CSS file. You can load JavaScripts or styles in the functions.php with the WP-enquStyle and WP-enquScript. If you're interested in learning more about what these files do, you should take a look at the community-organized WordPress Theme Developer Handbook on make.wordpress.org. Now we're going to look at Bootstrap. Sean Wildemuth has a great course in Bootstrap 3 that goes into great depth about everything I'm going to talk about and more. I'm not going to go into as much detail as he does, so if you're interested in learning more about something, definitely check out his course. I will be primarily concentrating on stuff that we'll be using later when we start building our theme framework.